How you doing? I'm Sylvia Reed from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's pretty cold out right now. I wanted to come to you and talk to you about Gitelman syndrome. Now, if you notice on Gitelman syndrome or Barter syndrome, there's not many videos out there of people actually putting their testimony. There's a lot about, nursing and doctors and educational videos, but you know what? I don't know about you, but I want to get on YouTube and I want to hear from actual people that have it, not people talking about it, not 50 minutes of an educational, robot voice based off Wikipedia. So I wanted to tell you a little bit of the symptoms. I have had Gitelman syndrome, but I wasn't aware of it until 2012 when I got diagnosed with hypokalemic periodic paralysis. If you got hypo, it's low, hyper, it's high for potassium. Now, I didn't know anything about Gitelman's then, but I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I was pretty sick. I went into the hospital with 1.0. So even though that was the first time I heard about the hypo, I'd had many issues prior. I had a lot of salt cravings. I was constantly passing out. I was always tired. It was just known that Sylvia was going to pass out somewhere, but other than that, I was a pretty hyper child. I was pretty withdrawn, that kind of thing. But around 12 is when I really started noticing that I was having some issues. So as far as barters go, that's something that I believe, from what I know, happens at a younger age, infancy, toddler age. But as far as Gitelman syndrome, a lot of people don't even know that they have it until around 12, when the hormones set in. So when I was in 9th grade, I was diagnosed with heart arrhythmia, and they wanted to put something in my chest, and I was like, no. I was in denial that I had any issues, and I just thought, maybe I worked, too hard at my dance routine or something like that. But then I passed out and I fell down the stairs, and I literally had to have a doctor's note to go to upstairs. Like I had 2-story school, and I started losing moisture in my hair. I had really, really dry skin. I got real pale, and I just thought, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I got better, and I went on a better diet, and then I got into high school, and the doctors were all like, you need to drink some VA, you need to eat more salt, olives and stuff like that, which I naturally already loved anyways. I didn't have no problem. I never really ate sugar. It was not something that I needed. I didn't really like candy. I loved my Skittles, don't get me wrong. But I did not even drink coffee until I was 18 years old. So I can tell you that my problem was not because I didn't drink enough water, because as a Gitelman syndrome and Barter's, you're constantly thirsty, but you're also constantly going to the bathroom. It's like an every 30-minute routine. So it's a little annoying that way. But I went to high school in California, and then I left California and I went back to Texas, where I still had the issues. So, before 18, I never drank alcohol or anything like that. So it was very strange to constantly get dehydrated. And I was very concerned. I knew something was wrong, but doctors, because it's so rare, they didn't know how to diagnose it. They just thought it was very strange that I was showing irregular heartbeats and palpitations, and it was, doctors know, like, that's just very strange, and they'll hook you up to the EKG. It's like a constant thing. It's blood work, EKG, and let's find out if the heart rhythm is normal. And it was always abnormal. But I was too young to have a heart attack is what they said, you know. But it was still very strange. So, and it was even more strange when they would take my blood test and it would definitely be confirmed that I had electrolyte deficiencies at the time. But it wasn't until I did the x-ray to find out that I had like a lot of potholes from a history of potassium deficiency. So that's when the kidney doctor and the two other doctors at the time decided that they needed to do a 24-hour urine catch. And that's when they found out that I was losing an obscene amount of sodium. So it was very confusing for everyone. It was very frustrating for me because nobody likes being in the hospital. And in 2012, when they did all those tests and everything, you know, I was a young mother, and all those issues I tried to forget. I tried to work past it, try to stay positive, try to do what I needed to do to get out there and work. And it was very frustrating to be in the hospital for 2 weeks because I did not want to have a problem. I did not want to be vulnerable or weak. But, you know, I had to acknowledge that I had a problem. It was very hard. And then, you know, when I was like 28, I was in Dallas and I got sick again. You know, I was a head chef of a Christian camp up there in Waxahachie. And it was very frustrating because he was all like, I can't tell if you're Gitleman syndrome or Barter's. And finally there was a doctor that knew what I was talking about. You know, we all say that we all need to be our own doctors. And it's true, you know. Like I said, not everybody with Gitleman syndrome have the same symptoms. We all are different, but no matter what, we're going to have potassium and magnesium and calcium chloride issues. You know, I'm not even saying that right, but people with Barters are going to have worse symptoms. You know, we, as deficiencies of electrolytes, salt wasting, we're going to have a lot of muscle cramps and spasms. Magnesium, you're going to have anxiety, deficiency, difficulty sleeping. You're going to have irregular heartbeat, poor coordination, personality change, vomiting, and diarrhea. With potassium, you're going to have a lot of your body's going to be paralyzed in a sense. So when you're low on potassium, your gut is also kind of paralyzed, you know. So here you got this kidney that is a healthy, normal kidney, but the latch in it that's supposed to help store all the vitamins, you know, when your body goes, okay, I'm running out of vitamins, let's store it. It's not doing that. It's basically, okay, let's let it all go, you know. And it's crazy like that. But then your gut is all like, okay, I'm going to hold all of this waste inside. You know, it's real crazy. So you're going to have a lot of bloating. I don't know how many times I just, hey, are you pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. I just have a lot of fluid retention, you know. So, and especially if I eat a lot of sodium, you know, straight up big belly. So, you know, like I said, brain fog, mood changes, heart palpitations, you know, mental fatigue. I don't sleep a lot, you know. I don't actually like to sleep. I like to get things done. So therefore, whenever it's time to sleep, you know, it's like, oh, no, I can't. I got to get this done. But when the electrolytes are low, it's like you're starting to get a migraine or a headache. You feel cranky. You know, you just want to sleep. And when that happens to me, I automatically know. And then on comes the chest pains and the palpitations and stuff like that. There was one time that I actually started having the chest pains. And I was freaking out because I thought I was having a heart attack. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to the hospital. as soon as they put the saline in me and maybe like a minute's worth of potassium, it's like all the pain subsided. But you can tell in my face, like it was swollen. I looked very tired. I looked wore out and wrecked. And my blood pressure was so low. Like, I could be wrong about this, but when your blood pressure goes below 50, it's like straight up huge concern for doctors. And mine was like 42 or something like that. I'll post the video later. It was crazy because I took a video of my blood pressure and everything and my heart rate. It was very low, you know. But I mean, my blood pressure runs low as it is, but it was very low. And it's very scary, you know. It's like you're not really dying, but it feels like you are. So in a sense, it's kind of traumatizing because it means that, like, if I have to go in the hospital and I'm at 1.0 for potassium and you're supposed to be at 3.5, normal people run about 4.0, and you're walking in at 1.0 and the doctor's looking at you like, how are you even like responding to me right now? It's crazy. So, and every time I go in and I get a potassium drip, it is literally liquid fire.